Right now, if you are hauling freight through the state of Arizona, you aren't just fighting traffic and rising fuel costs. You are driving through a massive coordinated net that is tightening by the hour. We've seen the reports, we've seen the flashing lights, but what's happening in January 2026 isn't just a routine safety check. It's a full-scale commercial vehicle crackdown involving the AZDPS, Homeland Security, and new federal mandates that are pulling hundreds of drivers off the road in a single week. From the high-profile rates on Miracle Mile in Tucson to the literal English proficiency tests happening at roadside inspections, the rules of the road in the Southwest just changed forever. If you don't know the new 2026 compliance standards, your next stop at a weigh station could be your last day in the cab. Now, before I deep dive into the numbers and the specific locations being targeted, you need to see the full breakdown of these new laws. Click the link in the description below to read the full article from CDL Life. Now, let's talk about the numbers because they are staggering. On January 6th, the Arizona Department of Public Safety, the AZDPS, released the results of a New Year's enforcement operation. They didn't pull over 1,000 trucks, they only inspected 49. Out of those 49 commercial vehicles, they found 114 violations. Think about that math. That is an average of over 2 violations per truck in a single day. 8 drivers were immediately removed from the road. 9 vehicles were impounded or placed out of service. This isn't a warning phase anymore. This is a zero tolerance phase. For years, Arizona was seen as a transit corridor, a place where you kept your head up and kept moving. But under the new 2026 directives, the I-10 and I-19 have become high-intensity enforcement zones. The AZDPS isn't just looking for broken taillights. They are looking for the 3 big killers according to the new federal guidelines: hours of service fraud, mechanical negligence, and licensing legitimacy. This is where the crackdown gets personal for a lot of drivers. In late 2025 and moving into this month, Arizona has become the front line for the federal audit of non-domicile CDLs. For the uninitiated, a non-domicile CDL is a license issued to someone who isn't a permanent resident or a citizen. As of January 2026, the FMCSA is pressuring states like Arizona to audit every single one of these licenses. They're looking for shady CDL mills. That's schools that allegedly sold licenses or skipped the rigorous training requirements. In Arizona alone, 42 truck driving schools are currently under investigation. Some are facing total decertification. The Trump administration Department of Transportation has made it clear if you didn't earn your license through a verified, compliant process, it is being revoked. We are seeing reports of drivers being stopped at the I-19 checkpoint north of Amado and having their credentials scanned against a new federal database. If the school you attended is on the blacklist, your license is flagged for immediate retesting or revocation. But it goes even deeper than the license itself. As of October last year and ramping up heavily this month, about 9,500 truck drivers nationwide have been disqualified for one specific reason: failing English proficiency tests. Under federal law, drivers are required to be able to read and speak English well enough to converse with the public and understand highway traffic signs. For decades, this was enforced with a wink and a nod. Not anymore. Arizona troopers are now conducting verbal assessments during routine stops. If you cannot answer technical questions about your logbook, your load, or your equipment in English, you are being placed out of service on the spot. Federal regulations say this is a safety issue, that in an emergency, communication is the difference between life and death. If you think this is just about roadside inspections, you haven't been paying attention to what happened in Tucson just a few weeks ago. In December, federal agents from the HSI, the Homeland Security Investigations, along with ICE, descended on Miracle Mile Road. They didn't just stop trucks. They served search warrants on the business offices of trucking companies. The most prominent target was AG Trucking. While the feds are often tight-lipped about ongoing investigations, the word on the CB and the preliminary report suggest a massive crackdown on authority leasing and double brokering schemes. They are looking for chameleon carriers, companies that get shut down for safety violations on Friday and reopen under a new name on Monday. In 2026, the technology has caught up. The new Unified Registration System, the URS, uses AI to track fingerprints, addresses, and VIN numbers. You can't hide from a bad safety record anymore. Let's look at the equipment. If you are an owner operator, the 2026 standards for automatic emergency braking, AEB, and electronic logging are being enforced with a heavy hand in Arizona. During recent blitz details on Phoenix Metro freeways, troopers found nearly 46% of commercial vehicles stopped were unfit for the road. They are seeing a massive spike in false logs despite the ELD mandate. Drivers are trying to outrun the clock to make up for the 14-hour rule, and the AZDPS is using new smart sensors on the I-10 that can actually scan the truck's thermal signature as it passes at highway speeds. They can see if your brakes are running too hot or not working at all before you even see the truck must enter sign at the weigh stations. They are specifically looking for flat tires, chaffed airlines, and non-compliant ELD devices. Just the other day, the FMCSA removed 4 more ELDs from the approved list. If you're using one of those, you are a target. So why is this happening now? Why is Arizona the ground zero for this crackdown? It's the intersection of two things: border security and freight integrity. Arizona is a primary gateway for goods coming from Mexico. The federal government has tied highway funding to freight security. This means the state is incentivized to be as tough as possible. They aren't just looking for contraband, though the recent 300-pound cocaine bust in a semi-sleeper proves that's still a priority. They are looking for economic sabotage. Unsafe trucks, unlicensed drivers, and fraudulent companies driving down the rates for the good drivers, the ones who follow the rules, maintain their rigs, and keep their logs legal. The Arizona Trucking Association, the ATA, has actually supported many of these moves. They are calling it the fight for fairness. They want the bad actors out because the bad actors are the ones making it impossible for honest owner operators to survive in a low rate environment. We also have to mention the brokers. Part of the Arizona crackdown involves auditing the brokers who fuel these shady operations. New federal rules in 2026 require brokers to prove they are vetting carriers for more than just an active MC number. Wait, I should clarify. MC numbers are effectively dead. As of this year, we are moving to a single identifier system, the US DOT number. This consolidation makes it much easier for the government to create a permanent record for every carrier. If your company has a high out-of-order service rate in Arizona, that data is now instantly shared with every broker and scale house in the country. There is no more clean slate. So what do you do if you're a driver? First, your paperwork needs to be bulletproof. If you are operating on a non-domicile CDL, you need to ensure your visa status and your medical certs are updated in the new federal portals. Arizona is no longer wait and see. They are revoke and impound. Second, check your equipment every single morning. The level 1 inspections being done in Arizona right now are looking for the small things: chaffed airlines, tire depth, and lightning. They are using these minor issues as a reason to dig deeper into your logs and your licensing. Third, be prepared for the communication check. If you are a driver who struggles with English, you need to be aware that this is a specific target of the current DOT administration. It's not just about the road signs anymore. It's about your ability to explain your load and your hours to a trooper. The 2026 Arizona trucker crackdown is a glimpse into the future of American trucking. The Wild West days of the I-10 are over. We are moving into an era of total digital oversight, strict linguistic requirements, and a zero tolerance policy for mechanical neglect. Arizona isn't trying to stop the freight. They're trying to filter it. They want the big fleets and the compliant owner operators, and they are making it very clear that everyone else is no longer welcome in the Grand Canyon state. Once again, this is Marcellus with Trucking with NBR. Stay safe out there. Keep your logs clean, your brakes tight, and your head on a swivel. The blitz isn't ending anytime soon. It's just getting started. And also make sure you smash that like button, share this video Subscribe to the channel and turn on your post notifications. And don't forget to check out the video at the bottom below on the screen where I talk about business credit versus cash. In this video, I break down the pros and cons and the real life strategies behind both options so you can choose the best path for your situation. And one more final reminder, right? If you haven't clicked the link in the description to read the full breakdown from CDL Life, do it now. The article contains the specific list of red flag violations that Arizona troopers are using to justify immediate impounds. Don't get caught off guard. I'll see you on the next video.